It's been a massive week for AI announcements. Google DeepMind announced Genie 3, a world model that can turn a text prompt into a fully interactive 3D environment you can explore in real time. Compared to Genie 2, it's more consistent, more realistic, and interactive for minutes at a time instead of realistically seconds. You can also even revisit locations and see them persist, which was a major problem in the past. Think Sora, but for navigatable worlds, not just video. And then Linus, do you want to bring up the example of a drone shot generated by VO3?
Sure, I'll do that. We're just looking at Genie 2 versus Genie 3 right now.
Okay.
So definitely improvements to world persistence. I'd really like to see him turn around, though. Yeah, turn around.
Yeah, he's really avoiding a lot of turning to previous locations. You can kind of tell in how they're moving.
Turn around, I want to see.
Wow. You got to get really close to the mic when you say that.
Sorry. Anyway, okay, so sorry, that was Genie 2, Genie 3. I mean, I guess you could kind of run it longer. Okay, so here's a drone shot generated by VO3 being taken over and controlled in real time, or by
There's
VO3.
Probably a drone thought somewhere.
Drone thought, jeez. Okay. So here's the generated video. Okay. And we're going to take control mid-flight, and then we'll be able to move it around. I guess that's in, oh yeah, no, here we go. Yep. So we're controlling it now. Okay. I guess so. Yeah, I guess the big difference is in real time we're able to generate this landscape as we go. Flippin' wild how, for short clips anyway, how kind of actually pretty convincing it is.
Yeah.
At least at X resolution. What else we got?
A DeepMind researcher posted a video of people playing around with Genie 3, to which someone asked if that video was created using Genie 3, to which the researcher then actually
did it. So here, this is pretty funny. Oh, am I not? I signed in at some point. So anyway, this is the original video, was them just like playing around with Genie 3 on lunch. And then they used Genie 3 to, here you go, to take control of that video and then walk out the window and some stuff happens, basically.
And you can tell that's not...
Yeah, you can 100% tell.
Still really interesting. OpenAI announced their first open weight models since GPT-2. GPT OSS 120 billion and GPT OSS 20 billion are free to download. OSS is an open source software. They're Apache licensed and can run on a single GPU or even a laptop despite being open. They're trained with many of the same techniques as OpenAI's proprietary reasoning models, and they're performing surprisingly close to the O series in benchmarks. OpenAI launched GPT-5, its first unified model, combining O-series reasoning with GPT-series speed, plus a router that chooses between quick or thinking responses. Benchmarks show small gains in coding science and reduced hallucinations, but a buggy rollout made it seem dumber on day one, sparking calls to bring back GPT-4o. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about my
I think they need bigger gains. I think they need bigger gains in coding based on my experience. By the way, I don't know if you saw this on the subreddit, but there was a Reddit post that went kind of viral where somebody ran into the exact same thing that I did with ChatGPT claiming that it would work on something in the background and then come back. And
was that with 5 though?
No, I don't think so. This is just making me think of that. But yeah, ChatGPT do be a liar sometimes.
Yeah, but I have things to... should I talk about that now, or should we go into the other ones?
You talk about whatever you want, Luke. You talk about whatever you want.
Put a little space here.
You can talk whatever you want.
GPT-5 last night, and I ran it against a test that I've been doing for a while.
Where are you now?
Which is where I take the... My goodness. I take the Wall Street Journal. Is that it? Yeah, the Wall Street Journal game called Letterboxed, and I give it the rules. I did this with John, John from the lab, John Doiron. I did it with ChatGPT 4, I think it was, with him, and I was trying to get it to actually work. and it never did. And I've tried this with a few other models, not all of them, but a few other models, and usually it can't actually play the game. The game is basically there's 4 sides to a square, there's 3 letters on each side, and you need to use up all of the letters, making various words by doing as few words as you possibly can. And the problem is you can't go to the same side again. You have to go from different side to different side. And it would sometimes like make up letters that weren't there. It would most often it would go back to the same side too many times. So it would like break the rules and it couldn't actually play the game. I got the standard GPT-5 to be able to beat it. It recognized it attempted to do it and it cheated. It went to the same side too many times. So I called it out and it accepted that, and then it tried again and failed and gave me an output saying, I failed to do this. This is why it was hard for me to do. And then it was like, do you want me to keep trying? And I was like, yeah, keep trying. And it tried again and it failed again, explained why it was hard, and explained what it would need to do. And it was like, basically, I'm going to have to write a program to do this because my model has an issue with like location persistence and all this other kind of stuff. So like I am too limited, but I can write code to solve this for you if you want. So I said, sure. And it output a Python script that just one-shot it.
Really?
So that was very interesting. And then I was sitting with Theo and he was like, oh, try the reasoning model. See what happens there. So I switched from the standard model to the reasoning model, and it took a long time, but it just right off the hop one-shot it. And it solved it in 5 words, and the challenge was do it in 5 words or less. It solved it in 5 words, but as I was inputting them to make sure that it worked, I realized that it actually finished on the 4th word. So it found a 5th extra word, and then it was like, I can probably do better if you want me to try. I called it out and was like, you didn't need the 5th word. And it was like, yeah. And then in response, it was like, I think I can do fewer words if you want. And I was like, yeah, go for it. And it sat for a while and then it did it in 3. So that was actually pretty crazy to me. That was pretty nuts. But isn't that the AGI thing, being able to improve itself? No, I completely disagree.
No, not even a little.
The big difference that Theo and I were talking about, he was proposing that the big difference is that it was a change in alignment, which might actually make it hallucinate less, which is interesting. Because
a change in alignment, you're going to have to define.
So basically in the past, there was a lot of rules that tried to make it stop it from doing certain things, right? And you could work around those rules, but a lot of times it would just kind of like make stuff up to get around. You would ask it something, you would ask it to go from point A to point B.
Yep.
And it would like go to many other points in between and try to solve a bunch of problems that you haven't actually really asked for yet. Like it was like over eager almost. And it would try to work around what you asked it to do and add a bunch of stuff. And it kind of went out of scope very often. It would tangent really hard. It would go out of scope really often. I'm sure you experienced this doing your coding thing.
Yep.
And now it's a bit more strict. It seems to stick closer to what you asked for. And when it can't do it, the change here, the reason why that person is asking, is it an AGI thing? The change here is that it's quicker to propose alternatives instead of trying to work around automatically.
Or pretending.
So this proposed alternative, or pretending, or whatever.
Yeah.
So like before, I couldn't get it to do it because it would just keep breaking the rules. And when I would point out that it broke the rule, it would just be like, you're right. And then it would break the rule again.
Yeah.
And now, instead of just like hammering its face into the wall, it will go, okay, yeah, I broke the rules here. You caught me on it. And then I broke the rules again, caught myself on it. We need another solution. I don't seem to be able to do this. Here's another way that I could approach it.
Right.
Just writing a program to do it for you. And then it did it.
By the way,
which
here's
is interesting and probably more useful.
Here's the sort of viral post. I found it. This is on r/ChatGPT. Caught ChatGPT lying. Had a very strange interaction over the course of 24 hours. In short, it strung me along the entire time, all while lying about its capabilities and what it was doing. It was to help me write code and generate some assets for a project. Told me it would take 24 hours to complete. 24 hours later, I asked for an update. It said it was done and would generate a download link. No download link worked. After 10 attempts of faulty download links, it admitted it never had the capabilities in the first place to create a download link. Furthermore, I asked what it had been working on this entire time. Turns out nothing. And lastly, after some back and forth, it admitted to lying. I asked why, and it essentially said it was to keep me happy. This is a huge problem. So hopefully,
as far as my understanding goes, it should do less of that.
So hopefully they have fixed this.
Yeah, because there's been alignment changes, so it should help with less of that, which comes across as a hallucination problem because it is, but it's a hallucination problem because they're like incentivizing it to
make you happy.
Particular thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas I don't want to be happy. I want the truth. I want the real answer.
So hopefully it'll be better. It is still hallucinating things. I ran it through some stuff just to try to see if it would screw up, and it still absolutely does. The hallucination problem is not solved. But in my kind of like my version of tea leaf reading, it does seem a little bit better at the hallucination stuff, and it seems like probably because of the alignment changes.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting time. This is, I'm surprised that the notes in the doc seem pretty tepid on it, likely because of the buggy rollout that they mentioned, because most people that I've talked to about it are very impressed, not necessarily because like, oh my God, it's so capable, but because it messes around less. And they're able to get the thing that they actually want out of it, without it lying to them quite as much. Like I've been talking about this on WAN Show for a long time. I really think the biggest problem with all these systems is the hallucinations. And even a marginal improvement there, which is like this absolutely did not solve the problem, but it feels like a marginal improvement. And even a marginal improvement there is a pretty big deal. It's pretty common in conversations with other people for people to bring up like, oh yeah, there's a model that's better. It's like it tests better. It is realistically a better model, but it hallucinates like crazy and is like difficult to interact with. So I don't like using it. And this seems like a good step in it's more functional to interact with realm, in my opinion. More there, but yeah, I think to me personally, 5 is much more interesting than 4 ever was. And I know people are talking about.
Would you say it's 25% more interesting than 4 ever was?
Yeah, maybe, but I don't think that 4 was 33% more interesting than 3. So
okay, so the math falls apart a little bit, but hey, that's what we expect from an AI.
yeah, perfect. Because 4 seemed like an improved but kind of samey thing, in my opinion. 5 is a little bit more shippable, I think.
Anthropic announced Claude Opus 4.1, focused on coding research and agentic reasoning. Benchmarks show noticeable improvements in multi-file refactoring and pinpoint debugging without adding new bugs. And Elevenlabs launched 11 Music, an AI used to generate studio-grade music in any style with or without vocals in multiple languages. Nearly all commercial uses are cleared. Oh, good. You can listen to some examples here. Would you like to listen to an example, Luke?
Yeah, I'll bring it up myself too.
Okay. So I
really question the studio quality.
Listening to the examples doesn't make me question it any less. Dan, am I cleared for audio off? I can't hear myself. Cool. Well, I've listened to it already, so. My heart a weary wanderer known, through shadows deep and twilight cold, I bear more longing silent hold. Yeah, so technically you could make that in a studio, but you wouldn't.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. Yeah. Yeah, that's a neat.
Now hear me out. How about Yellow Bus Jam?
Okay, we're going for some Beatles or what?
Hop on board, feel the G's roar.
No, groovier.
Big yellow bus rolling down Broadway's cold. Window down, wins a summer song. The city horns keep the beat all day long. From Harlem down to Union Square. We're tearing
It's
through
you can
dreams and
something's still
getting
wrong. You can
ahead.
feel it.
IXFN 724 and float plane chess. Okay, this sucks. You guys
you
hadn't
can,
heard
like,
suck yet.
The voice is impressive because a lot of AI voices have that problem where they have the they're hyper monotone about anything because the second they show any inflection or emotion, it could be unaligned, and that is a bigger giveaway than them just being hyper monotone. So it's interesting that they actually have some like emotion in the singing that is seemingly pretty good.
Twill
But then they,
923 says a soul
can't say
song
words.
with no soul. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much.
It really was notably lacking in soul.
Hold on, who was it? I'm sitting here with a guitar and can't find the beat still. Hold on, who was this? Can't find it. I mean, okay, so this is fair though. This is fair. Travau says there are plenty of real songs that are way worse though. Oh, it was Gilmore D who said the beat's very weird. Can't find the feel. Yeah. It's the kind of thing that I wouldn't notice if I wasn't actively listening, if that makes sense. Like if I was in a restaurant and this was on in the background, I wouldn't notice it. I wouldn't be like, how dare they? Like it wouldn't be like that wedding I went to where they played Flowers from Miley Cyrus. And I was like, wow, wildly inappropriate. For like the second song of the dance, like it was a human DJ. Literally, I wish they were replaced by an AI at that point because you can't do that. That's just so inappropriate. So it wasn't like that. Yeah, Pug Boy says that's an insane choice for a wedding, right? Anyway, so it wouldn't drag me out of the event. But it also, I wouldn't be like, I need to get my sound hound out. Shazam that. You know, like, I just wouldn't notice it.
Yeah.
Unique username asked, why? What's wrong with that song? And Moon MMO says, because it's about loving yourself because partners suck. Absolutely unhinged choice for a wedding. Yaxter says mother-in-law requested it.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Does this not require a public broadcast license to play in a store or like ?
Probably not.
The thing is that I'm sitting with is there is already tons of royalty-free music.
Yeah, like real music by real people.
I'm pretty sure Crab Rave is like literally one of those.
No, I think there's usage requirements. Like you have to credit them and stuff. I believe we have some agreement, right? Yeah, we also do have an agreement with Monster Cat where we just like can use all of their stuff as long as we just credit it. They're our Vancouver bros. So I don't. I'm actually not sure though. Now he's looking.
Oh no, it is copyrighted. Yeah, it's not royalty free. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, let's be careful with that. We can use it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting, because I noticed like a ton of people do. So I knew it was originally copyrighted and we just had an approval, but then I've noticed that it's like universally used now. But I guess either just people have agreements or it's fly by night. I could see either one, to be honest.
Okay, the last bit here is Elon Musk says that Twitter will put ads in Grok's chatbot answers, meaning that advertisers could pay to have their product be the ideal solution that Grok suggests. Talk about saying the quiet part out loud. Musk says...
Yeah, we all knew it was going that direction.
Musk says this will help pay for those expensive GPUs. That's a quote. While using XAI tech to improve ad targeting. It's like, dude, are you not gonna buy me dinner first? Like, just boom, straight to more procreation, not enough children. Bend right over, because this is how I intend to use my giant GPU farm powered by natural gas turbines that I didn't get a permit for.
Wait, really?
I'm just gonna straight up, yep, I'm gonna have people pay to be the best answer. I mean, it worked great for Google with their top sponsored search results, right? Let's just do that. But AI, are you serious right now? You don't even have the top AI chatbot, and you're already trying to be the first one to completely enshittify it. I mean, we obviously knew. Like, Amazon was upfront about the only reason Alexa existing being so that she could get to know you and understand what you want to buy, so you could buy it off Amazon using Alexa. Like, that was the only reason Alexa ever existed in the first place. Like, Amazon was pretty straightforward about that, and it didn't take off because people immediately would use whatever didn't shove product down their throat, because they're not actually really very interested in that. The only reason anybody cares about ChatGPT is because they think it's giving them like the right answers, even though it's trained on a poisoned web that is just full of completely corrupted clickbait articles and all of that. So it's definitely got its own problems. But it isn't just brazenly recommending whoever paid me the most. I mean, if you wanted to do that, you could just watch tech YouTubers.
New ideas on how to poison AI as well.
That's how you can tell he's not listening to me.
There's ones there's ones where you can trap.
Self-own.
You can trap it. How is it his self-own?
What, me?
Oh.
I self-owned myself.
Got it. All right. Fair enough.
I implied that I am bought and paid for. I like playing into the conspiracy theories as if they can afford me.
NVIDIA can.
I mean, they can, but they won't. Cheap f***s.
I do think it's interesting because, like, you have a video coming on vibe coding.
Yeah.
And, like, I defended you didn't use a coding specific tool, because I do think the vast majority of people, including, people that I know, and I know this has happened, just dive right into using ChatGPT. They don't even know what the other ones are. So I think it is very realistic for a new to these type of systems person, to use just ChatGPT instead of something else.
Yep.
It's the most well-known thing. But do you think releasing that video after 5 is out and not having used 5 is good?
Yeah, I think it's fine, because we can acknowledge that. I haven't shot any of the A-roll of it. I've only shot the coding challenge. And we still haven't had the real developer, to my knowledge, try to beat me. So, like, we still have, like, I think it's going to be very clear to people from the way we set up the video and present it that this is a challenge that took place a while ago, and it was with the tools that exist. And literally in my screen cap, I drop down, you can see what models are available to me in the OpenAI interface and stuff. So it's not like people are going to be like, no, why didn't you click on that one? Like, I clicked on the one that was supposedly better for programming. So, like, whatever, I don't know. Like, I did what I think a normal user would do. And we have all that. We have all that documented.
I defend that for sure.
Yep, it's all documented.
Cool.
So I'm really not that worried about it. And the point is not necessarily like the moment in time. The point is asking like a bigger question. And I think that regardless of what model we use, we are going to run into bigger answers. Like, okay, now what about the maintenance of that code? Like, that's a huge question, because I have a working, JavaScript, but I still don't know JavaScript. I haven't actually solved the problem, which is that I don't know how to code. or script or
Yeah,
anything.
and like modern tools will tell you where the error is and generally some information about the error, and then you can feed that error and that information. You might have done this in your challenge back to the LLM. The LLM can try to fix things for you and whatnot, but it does definitely become a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.